Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a bonus new moon eclipse for the month of February tarot oracle reading. And Gemini, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Gemini, we still all have a little bit of Gemini in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is Gemini in, that's where this energy shows up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. Keep in mind, this is a general or collective reading. Parts of it will resonate and parts may not. Take what works for you, leave the rest. Also, this is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it right now, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on back then in your life, you may find further clarity by looking into that. All right, we're going to start with underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. And we have intuition. Intuition is perfect for a new moon and full moon energy. All right, so the high priestess is sitting on her throne and she sits next to God. She's in between these two towers here and she's very highly intuitive. This represents the devil and this represents Jesus, good and bad, you know, that kind of energy, dark and light, and she has a crescent moon at her feet. And that's because she follows the cycles of the moon, knowing that, you know, the full moon is a good time to release anything that's no longer going to work for you, to get ready for the new moon energy. And yeah, there we have it. So use your intuition. That's the underlying energy for this reading. And then we have the rebel with a cause, the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands he represents the element of fire and passion. He is reining his emotions in. That's the horse, his energy here. He's got this big red plume on his helmet. And that is representing, you know, he has a fiery temper, but he has it under control. He's matured into it. And the pyramids in the background here represent the mysteries of the world and his love of discovering, you know, enjoying mysteries. This is someone who really is enthusiastic about life, passionate about what he does, and is really likes to travel, adventure, that kind of energy. So the knights would work for the king and queen, and they would deliver messages back from kingdom to kingdom. That in the old days, of course, the knights would always be male, but now this could represent a female in her masculine energy. And because of the time that, like, this reading is actually for the new moon, and the new moon that's coming up, it happens to fall on the exact same day as the first day of the Chinese New Year, which is in the fiery horse energy. So this card is coming up. This is a Sagittarius energy, and this energy is very, very similar to the fiery horse energy that we'll be entering into for a year on February 17th. And right now it'll be the 12th when I post this. 12th or 13th, sorry, I'm not sure, I have to check. But anyway, it'll be a few days before we enter, before the new moon. And the energy is, the new moon is in Aquarius, and it's opposed by Leo, so that's another fire sign. And Leo energy is saying, hey, look at me, I need to express myself as an individual and not just, you know, I'm a leader, I have to stick out. And Aquarius energy is saying, no, you have to be part of the group and you have to do what's best for the group, and, you know, we all are in it together kind of energy. And so there's a bit of a pushback here. And the fiery horse energy of the new year coming in is, as I said, very close to Sagittarius. It's very free-spirited, and in matters of love, it would be very passionate and heartfelt. Horses have a lot of heart. The danger with this sign is it makes you want to set really high achievement goals and then maybe not leave enough time to do it, so you burn yourself out and you don't make it to the finish line. Also, you really have to watch impulsive reactions to things, because this energy is very reactive. It can be very reactive and impulsive, and if you get into that kind of energy, you will regret it later. This is not a good time for impulsive energy. It's not a good time to get mad and get online and tweet away. You want to be as calm as you can right now. There's a lot of other factors around, but I'm going to continue with the reading. The horse, as soon as the horse comes in, galloping in here, I right away want to bring up the year of the horse, because that's when the energy's entering here. And that, that energy will be with us for the entire year. And on that same day, with the new moon in Aquarius opposing Leo, there is also an eclipse, and it's a solar eclipse. So Leo is ruled by the sun, and it's opposing the Aquarius new moon. And we also have an eclipse, and it's a solar eclipse. So that energy, it blocks out the sun. So it's going to be very, a lot of illusions, a lot of miscommunications, that kind of energy. There's not, when the sun, it's for a small period of time, but when the sun is, you can't see the sun. It's covered by the moon kind of energy. And so that energy is really disruptive. Let's put it to you that way. So it's really important for, in Gemini energy, it's being like very easily reactive. You have to really watch this energy, because a lot of people, like, you're starting to see events around the world, and I feel a big part of it is because of this world, like really aggressive energy. Because also, on January 26th, we had Neptune, which is like a very big planet. It takes, it does its rotation 14 years in each sign, and it was in the sign of Pisces for the last 14 years, and now it's in the sign of Aries. So Pisces energy is the fish, two fishes swimming together, trying to swim together, and they're tied at the tail. And Aries energy is like a newborn baby. Like, they're totally, well, they both came out, the baby did come out of the womb, out of the water, but other than that, they don't have much in common. And this energy is going to be very noticeable, because a lot of people are already feeling it. Neptune is about being idealistic and having a really good attitude. And while it was in Pisces, it was kind of like more like dreamy, and very traditional, that kind of energy. And in Aries, it's like, it's basically saying everything you've done for the last 14 years, like to, move through things on the planet, like in your work life, and that, the habits and everything that you form, the ways that you approach work and that you approach life. You may as well forget all that now, because for the next 14 years, we're going to be in this new baby energy. And, think about a newborn baby, how much they have to learn. That's what it's going to be like for a lot of people. We're going to have to adjust. And so that's with that energy combined with the fire horse energy coming in, and we're leaving the year of the snake. And so the snake sheds its skin, and a snake to a horse is a very different energy as well. So we're really feeling this, like the changes that are happening on the earth, and a lot of Aries is ruled by Mars, and it's an aggressive planet. So there's a lot of energy in astrologically that is causing people to feel really out of sorts, basically, and kind of aggressive. So the Queen of Cups is representing love. And so her cup she has the only cup that has a lid on it. It looks like a trophy, actually. She's all about love. This is representing her being a container of unconditional love. And so this would be someone that would be most likely to be married in a traditional marriage and have a family, and, love her babies and love her spouse, and, you know, someone that would be, you know, maybe cooking homemade meals and showing her love that way, and just really loves pets and animals and her community, you know, volunteering. Someone who just really has a big heart. And this energy, well, we do have Valentine's Day coming up as well. I forgot to mention the day before Valentine's Day on the 13th, we have Saturn moving into Aries as well. I forgot that part, sorry. And I'm just going to mention it now because I want to remember to tell you that that's what this reading is about. If you've been feeling really kind of out of sorts, this might explain it. So, you know, we have Neptune just moved on the 26th into Aries, and now Saturn on the 13th, which is another very big planet, which is very, it's all about responsibility, and you have to do things this way, and you have to make sure, like, you know, it's income tax season now, get the paperwork done, make sure your job is done properly, make sure that, you know, you take care of every single responsibility and do it perfectly, that kind of energy. And it's Saturn is moving into Aries as well, and so the idealistic Neptune and the Saturn are like stuck in Mars together in this aggressive energy. It's going to be interesting, but we have love here for Valentine's Day. That's good. And passion. We have passion coming in, so let's see what else is happening. We have, this card has been coming in a lot too. I really shuffled the cards before this reading because I was like, a lot of the same it's not a lot of the cards that are the same are coming up, but the same cards are coming up a lot of the times in the readings. And I just want to also say that you're the third reading I'm doing now for the new moon eclipse energy. And they've been a bit of an improvement in love over the ones I did for Valentine's Day. I thought, oh, I'll do all these light, fluffy readings. And with this energy coming in, it hasn't been fluffy. The Valentine's Day readings were not fluffy. They were tough love, a lot of them. And some of them were even Singles Awareness Day, would have been a better title for them. So it's been, you know, this energy has been having an effect on us, but it's becoming more and more intense. So this energy is talking about 9 cups. And 9 cups is the most cups that you can have of love. So this is really good. And this card is talking about, this is what you, like something you really wish for. And maybe this card represents, this is someone on like a public stage, basically. And, you know, there's a shelf either, are these cups right above his head? Are they behind him? Or are they more forward and he's sitting back? So that, you know, it's the past, the present, or the future here. And he's sitting on the stage and he's highly favored to get that 10th cup. There's only 10 cups in tarot and there's 9 here. So this is like, I love my spouse, I love my children, I love my parents, I love my friends and family, I love my career, I love where I live, my home is beautiful, I love that, I love my pets, you know, I love doing my hobbies, that kind of energy. But there's just 1 cup missing to have absolute ultimate fulfillment, as much as you can have in a perfectly imperfect world. And his body language says he's a little uncomfortable here. His lower body, he's got his toes pointed out and he's leaking energy. So I feel like he's getting tired, you know, a little bit. This is a lot to accomplish. And his upper body is actually quite closed. But he's not, if his arms were crossed and covering his heart, I'd say he's really like his heart is close to what's going on. But it's actually, his arms are down lower. And it's almost like they're making an infinity symbol here. So it's talking about, you have to stay focused right now. And like not get like, you know, get off, don't let your horse grab the bit in its mouth and take off and take you in the wrong direction. Don't get into fights with people you don't need to get into. Don't get distracted by the world events because they are very distracting right now. We have a lot going on, so, you know, stick to the plan. your plan. And because if you're so close to getting what you want here. And you know, a lot of times people lose the race in the last lap. So we have this energy also. These two cards have been coming up a lot. And so this is talking about, and I feel like it's because of this energy. This is talking about someone who's standing at the top of his turret of his castle, and he's overlooking his domain, and he's thinking, you know, I'm a big fish in a little pond here. Like, I really want to expand my horizons. I want to, and I quite often think of this as a friend, someone who is in business and they're an entrepreneur, and maybe they want to, they've been successful with a business where they're at, but now they want to expand their horizons and do something either slightly different or totally different. But it could even be like they want to franchise their business and set up another location kind of energy. So he has his left hand on this wand, and he's contemplating, like, should I leave here? I know, like, you know, he's got the globe in his hand, so it's like, I know that I've done everything I pretty much can here. And I need to, if I want to expand my business or my horizons in general, I need to move forward. I'm just going to check that this is set up good. Okay, the last reading I did, I had the cards down too low, and the one before that too high. So I was trying to get them correct so you'd be able to see the whole thing here. And then we have here, this is a card of celebration, but not one that I feel like is a full-hearted celebration. I'll tell you why. These three people are toasting, but they're not toasting each other. No one's looking at each other. They're looking at the cups. So they're actually toasting something that has happened. And there's 3 cups here. And, you know, the cups are about romantic love generally. And it's kind of like, why is there 3? Why aren't there 2 people? You know, and it's more like they're they're happy and cheering about something that has happened, or an event or something like that, because they're not even looking at each other at all. They're not acknowledging each other in this. And in a lot of cultures, in particular in Europe, if they have a big superstition there, like if you toast someone and you don't look them in the eye, they have a superstition that it causes 7 years bad luck in your love life. And so it kind of defeats the purpose. And a lot of times, I hate to say it, but when this card comes out, usually there's shifty relationship in a relationship. But we will see. Oh yeah, see? This card's been coming up quite a bit too. Some sort of temptation. So this quite often represents that there's a third person in a relationship where it's supposed to be a couple. And so that might be what's missing here is, you know, like something, you know, intuition saying there's something wrong here. You know, the rebel who's delivering information here, like that's his job. He, you know, he might be delivering a message of passion. Like this could, like, it's hard to say right now because there's not really, we only have the queen here. Now, I just want to point out that these are archetypes. So the queen could be a male in his feminine energy as well as a female in her feminine energy. But it looks like there's temptation and there's a third party in a relationship. And like we have the 2 wands here. And so this is someone who maybe thought that they had everything that they wished for, and then they found out that their partner was cheating on them. That's the energy I'm picking up here. I wish it was different, but you know, that's kind of like how the readings have been going. So in any case, the devil is representing temptation, and the lovers here are yoked to each other. They're chained at the neck, and then they're yoked to Saturn's box here. And he's hunched over them like this because it's representing like animal instinct. Like this isn't love, this is more lust. And so when the devil comes in like this, you know, you're not going to get the truth from him. People lie a lot when he's around, and he's very manipulative. Like the devil doesn't present to you, hey, I got something really stinky and smelly and horrible you're really, really going to regret, but hey, sell your soul. No, he shows you something shiny. And, you know, in my oracle that I will be clarifying with, the devil card is represented by a beautiful dragonfly on a hot pink background, and she's got Swarovski crystals all over her. So she's very pretty, and it's that kind of energy that people get tempted by. So when the devil comes in, you're not going to get the truth, and he's not going to do his own dirty work for him. He always gets a minion. So I always take the next card and just see who is he sending in, what it's about, or does God come in and cover it? And we have the Hermit here. So this card represents someone who's going through the dark night of the soul, or who has just gone through the dark night of the soul, where they've had something really challenging happen. And I feel that it has to do with this energy. And so the Hermit goes up to the top of the mountain so that he can isolate himself and not be bothered by anyone, and go inward and meditate and pray until he gets an answer from God. And when his lamp gets full of the light, and it's of the North Star. So your North Star is your destined path. The North Star is what the wise men followed when they were searching for Jesus Christ, went at the stable. So that when that lantern is full of that light, then his rod lights up, and okay, it's time to come down from the mountain, and now I know what actions to take here. And so this is saying there was temptation here. I feel like it might have happened. Like, I feel like that this is your energy. This is like the identity and self-image, because we're talking about the internal forces here, and these are the internal forces. And the rebel has a lot of passion, and but he could be coming in to tell the queen that maybe the king has been out and about, because but she's got her back turned to that information. She doesn't really want to hear it. She's focusing on the unconditional love she has. So that's the kind of energy I'm kind of picking up. We're going to keep going here and see. So the internal forces, okay, we've got, because you've stayed on your path and you didn't stray. Now, if there's a few scenarios here. This could be the Queen of Cups that has a new passion, and when the cat's away, the mice will play kind of energy. So it could be her that has given into temptation, and then she felt really bad and went up and conferred with God and got back on her path. Or this could be the energy of the rebel coming in to tell her that, hey, the king has been straying, and this is the energy. And then she goes up to the mountain to figure out, okay, what am I going to do now? But in any case, because your energy stays on the path, on the destined path, this is the reward for going to find out what the North Star energy is and what to do. And so that was the smartest thing you could do. And that's what I advise everybody to do right now, is to, make plans for what you want to do, and do all the research and everything, but it's not a great time for starting like new projects and just, okay, I'm going to do it today. Without having researched it and looked into the information and stuff, because the new moon is in Aquarius, and Aquarius likes to gather information and then observe and experiment, and then observe and experiment. It's a very analytical and intellectual kind of energy, and so it's kind of like fools rush in kind of energy. If you don't do your homework, you could find, nasty surprises, right? And so this is your energy, how you identify with yourself right now, that you have unconditional love for all of this, what I said was here. And you're in an energy where this is representing your self-worth and your abundance, and you feel like there's one cup missing. Now, what that one cup is, I'm not sure. You would know that. but you pretty much have like everything that you want. But it feels like now this energy came in, and now it's kind of like, here we're talking about your communication and your communication style, you know, from early upbringing kind of energy. So some people are raised in families with a lot of siblings, and some people are only children, and this is Gemini energy. So Gemini can be kind of, moody. You may have noticed that about yourself. So the twins facing off in different directions, that kind of energy. And so this is talking about, being in this energy here of thinking about expanding, moving on, taking what you have here and moving it to a different place, or doing things differently from the way you do, which is not a bad energy to be in, because that's good that you're feeling that way, because that's that energy that's coming in from the Neptune and Saturn energy, But I feel like definitely there's been some stepping out by someone in this marriage or this relationship, because this card is coming up and people are gossiping about it. And one of these people might even be one of the people involved. And maybe her friends are congratulating her because maybe you're leaving or thinking about leaving, and then she can have him kind of energy. And you're saying she can have him. He's not a prize that you think, but hey, if you want him, you can have him. That's the kind of energy I'm getting. Like she's unconditional love up to a certain point. and it's kind of that energy where she, it's maybe been a bit of her intuition was telling her something's up, something's up. Okay, so let's keep going here. We have the creativity and romance and children here. So, people sometimes will stay in relationships for quite a bit longer than they would if they didn't have children with someone. And then we have, this is talking about your daily routine and your health and your everything changing for the better, way for the better. So we have like your self-image, and then this is your daily habits. So something's going to change here along with that energy, right? And that's the energy that there's been a lot of, sometimes positive and sometimes negative change, but a lot of towers and that kind of energy coming in. This is interesting because we have a reconciliation card here. So this card could be saying, this reconciliation can be a reconciliation within yourself about your upbringing, that kind of energy. This could be that you've forgiven your partner and decided, okay, I forgive them and I want to reconcile. Forgiveness would be the first step towards reconciliation for sure. Having said that, you could forgive someone and not want to reconcile with them. So maybe that's what you're deciding is you still love him, but you don't want to live with him anymore, and you're not up for whatever he did here or she did. I'm just because this is female here, but this is actually feminine energy. So this could be a male and really being intuitive, right? So this card is talking about, if you're going to, it can be about reunions, and it can be about also reconciling your childhood. And for your childhood energy, we have this energy here of your communication in your early life and your emotional foundation. It could have been that maybe your parents went through this and you always said, I'm never going through that I'm never putting my children through that kind of energy. And then we have children playing in a yard and someone looking after them. But this card, when you look again, wait a minute, those aren't children. Though that's a gnome and that's a little woman. And you can't tell, is she like young or is she old? Because if you look at her one way, she looks like an old hag. And if you look at her the other way, she looks like a young woman. And then the person that's watching over them is actually not watching over them, they're walking away. So it's kind of, and these cups here with the flowers in them, white flowers in tarot represent innocence. having said that, the flowers in those cups are datra, and that's in the nightshade family, and it's highly poisonous, and you wouldn't want children to be playing with it. But they're not children after all. So it's that kind of an energy. This is poisonous. You wouldn't want pets or children around that plant, and yet that's what they're playing with. When the little lady, the gnome, and then you realize, oh, they're not children. Well, I don't know. The gnome probably knows better, and the little lady, she's got a mitt on, a white mitt, and that represents she doesn't want to get her hands dirty. So this energy is talking about, you might have forgiven your partner, and now, you're reconciling, or you decided to reconcile, or this could be representing an energy of someone you're about to meet, or someone that you haven't seen for a long time, some sort of a reunion coming in. It would be someone like from your childhood or from high school kind of energy. And then we have the King of Pentacles coming in. So these are now the external forces. And the external forces, like the internal forces, you're asking, what if this happens? What if I do this and this happens? What if they do that and this happens? The what ifs about getting back together probably, or what ifs about separating. And the energy of the external forces is more like when you're laying there and saying what the EF happened. And that's that could have been that first hearing about this. And so this is talking about a lot of pentacles here. And see, that's what you're being rewarded with. So this is talking about lifestyle. It's not just talking about money. But it looks like, like with the King of Pentacles, this is someone who's very good with business and respected in the community and looked up to. This would be someone that deals with money on a day-to-day basis in a professional aspect, like someone, a stockbroker, a mortgage broker, someone who is a financial advisor, a life insurance person, a retirement specialist, someone who works in the bank, loans officer, or a manager of a bank. It would be someone higher up, and so that's in the position of someone that you're married to, marriage or commitment and partnerships. So there's a lot of money at stake here in this relationship as well as what's coming up. So let's see here. And then there's a cup of love coming in here. So this is really interesting because we have the transition is going to be this cup of love that's overflowing with love, which represents this energy. But it's someone externally. It looks like someone with a lot of money is coming in to love the queen here. So maybe this is in the past and she's healing. And maybe, this is someone that she knows from her childhood, this energy here. Because this is the external forces coming in and this is the internal forces. And it's kind of like she stayed on her path. And maybe she's like, no, I'm not reconciling with whoever cheated on me here because I'm just not up for it. It's that's one thing that's interesting, like about the King and Queen of Cups. They're both like the most loving and most emotionally available, but they're also both more likely to hold a grudge if someone betrays them in a really bad way. So let's keep going here. Yeah, like there's a transition, and then we have this is the position of transition. Someone comes in, and then this is talking about secrets, and like the secret coming out. So this could be about a cup of love. Isn't that interesting? Because this one's overflowing with love, and this one's a container of love. And then this is coming in as the higher learning. So this is about that transition energy I was talking about, where everything that you thought was the way it was is now not. This is very Gemini. This is very Gemini energy. I feel like it really represents your energy really well. Like it's because Gemini sees both sides of the story, right? And this could just be the story about one person here that doesn't have love in their life and hasn't had for quite some time. And they have all this love to share, and they're rewarded for staying on their path. And then, and maybe in the past there was a split up or whatever, because this energy is saying that there's passion coming in. It's like that's the internal forces, that there's and there's a reward here. And then here we have like this male, and this is the first opposite sex energy here, really. So it could be, and like this is the transition, it's this new love coming in. And then the card that this death is about transition, but this is about higher learning, education, travel, learning things in a new way, which is that energy we were talking about with Neptune and Neptune and Saturn coming together. And you know, this the devil energy is ruled by the planet of Saturn as well. So I feel like it has something to do with that. I feel like, especially because the Hermit is on here, this is usually when someone has had a dark night of the soul. So there's definitely something here. So we'll just keep going here and see. This represents death and rebirth, though, and that a light at the end of the tunnel. And then the Fool's on a new journey. Yeah, it's looking like there's some energy coming in where the Queen here, which is representing your energy, the Queen of Love, is ready for a new adventure here with this rich person who really has a lot of passion and love. And this is really different from what you're used to. Someone that, this is like going on a brand new cycle, a brand new journey. Really interesting, isn't it? Because of the energy that I described earlier. And this is after, you know, I feel like this card can represent the never-ending nightmare. Like when you wake up and you have the same nightmare over and over again and you just can't get out of it. But it also can represent enlightenment in the wee hours of the morning. And I feel like that's this energy here is come into play here. And this is saying that the nightmare is over now, like wondering if you'll ever have that love that you want. And I was going to say need. It's kind of like, because where is she going to put all this love? She has so much love and she has no one to shower it on, you know, that kind of energy. So yeah, so this can sometimes represent, this card can represent coming to, again, a transition like this. And the nightmare is over because there was enlightenment in the wee hours of the morning from Holy Spirit. And it comes out, you know, usually around 2 to 4 in the morning is when you'll wake up from a dream, or you'll have like a real strong thought. And it's like, wow, like, you know, this is what I need to do. It's like, aha, that's what I need to do. And the quilt here on the bed has the cosmic symbols from the universe on it, and that's representing that the universe has your back here. So this energy, I feel, is talking about the rewards coming in from God for staying on your path, even though maybe you were tempted to at some point to get revenge or something like that. That's the kind of energy I'm picking up. Yeah, someone was like, because this is the juggling. So this is representing multitasking, someone who's very busy. And it's juggling. Like, and this card says either, you know, juggle your options, but don't ever juggle your morals. And there definitely was some juggling. And this is like the spiritual position. This is really a deep reading. Like I can feel a lot of, like it's like a wounding that was really deep in the heart here. And on a spiritual level as well. So I just feel like in the position you were in, you really felt you were close to having absolutely everything you want. And then found out this energy here. And instead of taking revenge or being like, you know, like because like the Queen is very loving, but like as I said, both the King and the Queen of Cups can really hold a grudge. So instead of getting into that real bitter energy, I feel like that you possibly were able to forgive your partner or whatever, but you don't want to be with them anymore. And then because you made that choice for yourself, that's the energy I'm getting. Staying on your path and recognizing that you're never going to have that with them. And so you need to move on. Really, and I feel like it was maybe after like 6 years, you know, we have 6 cups here. It was not a short relationship. Let me put it to you that way. And then there's some energy coming in also maybe of not being able to have children and wanting children. I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to clarify this, Gemini. If you're enjoying this reading, give me a like and comment, please. It really does empower me to build my channel. Even though I don't know whether I like this reading or not, I'm like, oh, I hope that it has a lot of promise to it. So let's see. So this is my Oracle Tales from the Vector, TAILS, and I have a website, talesfromthevector.com. I have all the paintings in this oracle. It has 64 paintings. I completed them in 2020. I started in 2007. It's from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. I will put in the description box below the cards as they appear, and the numbers on the cards represent the numbers of the paintings in my gallery. So you might... Oh, here we have it. Okay, this is what wants to come out. So we have the Empress energy here. So this is talking about, yeah, like there's so much potential here. So I feel like this is for the overlying energy, like for all of this, is like really use your intuition. And the Empress energy is like being able to really get what you want, basically. She is sitting on her throne and she's known to be pregnant with possibilities. And that's the other energy that I'm picking up about this not being able to get pregnant energy. I don't know where that's coming from. It's just intuitive. We have the Pisces energy. So I feel like this is about authority and that kind of energy. And I feel like sink or swim. And I feel like that energy is talking about like that, how Neptune moved out of Pisces and moved into the sign of Aries, and that was on January 26th. And I feel that's changed things. Like you're not as idealistic as you were about the relationship, and you're like, okay, I'm making the decision to move on. This kind of energy may have been going on for, you know, off and on throughout the years, and yet you're not able, like, I feel like there could be a problem. You know how when they say that sperms swim to get to the egg, I'm just seeing that picture for someone, that the swimmers are not as strong as they need to be, kind of energy. And then yeah, this is confirming this is your energy. Here you are, Gemini, just showing up for yourself right here. And you're third in the horoscope, like the third sign, and it represents kind of that age where you start kindergarten. And, you know, like when your subconscious mind is already formed. So I feel like you're learning at a whole new level again. And it's that energy that I was talking about again, of that Neptune. Like, I think that Neptune energy had a big effect on you. You're not as idealistic as you used to be. You still have unconditional love, but it's not like naive in any way anymore. And the guiding star energy is talking about you being very intuitive at this time and listening to your intuition so that you can get what you want. And this is on the, you know, if you want to have what you're wishing for, use your intuition. Don't just think about it logically. And I also want to point out when this card is representing your energy, because we're doing a reading for Gemini, and this card I don't feel this is necessarily a person. It could be. Like you might, oh no, I recognize that person. But this this is more fire anyway. But this is representing that energy of Neptune moving out of Pisces, and you not being quite as dreamy as you used to be about them. You know, like you're seeing it way more clearly. And then we have the Scorpio energy on this. And I feel like this energy, like that's the sexual gladiator of the universe, and of the horoscope basically. And it's either about uniting or dividing. And I feel like this energy is talking about your partner. And then the Leo energy, you know, teenage boys, you know, being impulsive, that kind of energy. I feel like that's, and it's sitting right on this card of celebration of 7 years of bad luck in your love life, because they're not looking, you know, that kind of energy. And then we have dissemination. So there's an elephant in the room and nobody wants to see it. And so that's like when you start to say, wow, you know, believing in your own press, that's when you say, well, you know, I have this and this and this and this. I have most of what I want. You know, other people have it worse. Like, I guess this is all I'm going to have. No, no, you're not going to give up now. Keep going. This is saying keep going. Keep your focus. You want to go, you want to have, you deserve to, you have all this love to give. You deserve to have someone that wants to accept it fully. And then this is talking about the surrendering. So this is the surrender to God, basically. Like when you can't, if you don't know what to do yourself, then, you know, you go confer and get the information there. But I also can feel your ancestors coming in. And this is also the energy turning cold in the daily routine and everything. And you noticing like, hey, he doesn't kiss me when he leaves the house anymore. And he doesn't, he's coming home late. And you know, that, you know, you're noticing it's cold in here. There must be something in the atmosphere. And then we have indifference. So this is kind of, it's a karmic space where we can become indifferent to other people's suffering because of wanting what we want and having pipe dreams, right? And I feel like that's this energy here. Like you may have forgiven it and actually have, but you've realized I'm not happy, I want out of this relationship. And that's this kind of energy here. We have, because otherwise, I feel like this energy here of marriage and commitment and partnership, you're starting to get angry. And, you know, anger is the gift that keeps on giving. Like, it's kind of like, it's just going to keep building. I feel like it's just going to keep building unless you find someone that you can love. And hey, if he happens to be, have a lot of pentacles, good, you know, that's better yet. And then this is, feeling jealous. I'd rather be better than bitter. It's kind of like there couldn't be a worse situation than being jealous of the person that's having relationship with your husband, you know, or your wife. You know, it's kind of like, really, do I want to feel jealous of someone outside of my relationship? No, that's not fun. And there was deception. Kiss me good. There was a hex in the city. Yeah, that's not surprising me. And again, it's saying, you know, use your insight. The all-star is about the third eye, and the guiding star is your crown chakra, like, you know, really getting the information in directly from God through the crown energy, through the crown chakra. And then the moon energy, it's talking about what I said about the moon energy, all of it, like remembering, okay, you need to look after your own needs. And remember, Leo is opposing that, oh, I got to look after everybody else. You need to look after yourself right now. You have all this unconditional love. And so I feel like that you have a tendency to do more for others than they're willing to do for you. And this is saying, like, go inward in this night, like you have the high priestess who's highly intuitive. You have intuition here again. And now you have the third eye saying, you're on a new journey, use your insight. And quite often we will get insight from our dreams. And then this is saying reckless abandon, WRECK. So it's about disciplining your mind and getting in a place. You know how I said, making the consistent steps of action that you can take to get to where you want to go, to make the plans now, but don't make any rash decisions right now. Like, don't be impulsive, and don't be speaking out of anger and jealousy, because you'll regret it later. Like, it's kind of an energy, impulsive actions are not beneficial right now. Planning your escape is, like, or, planning your new life, basically, before you do it. Like, research is what I'm saying. Like, if you're planning to move, because this can actually be a physical move, look into, don't be like, oh, I'm just going to go there. We went on a holiday once and I really liked it. It's more like, no, I'm going to go and research it. I'm going to go there and check out the neighborhoods if I'm going to purchase a house or something. It's that kind of energy. And then it's a whole different world for you. And I feel like that's coming in on a spiritual as well as and I feel what I was just picking up too is this kind of represents the Gemini energy, like the twins juggling, that, like, just juggling, that kind of energy between your spiritual needs and your physical needs, that kind of energy. But I feel like you're on the cusp of this. If it hasn't, I feel some of this has for sure, it has happened already, maybe for some of you, or this is all just starting. But I feel like this energy here has already happened, and the rest is going to be like, as how long does it take you to come to the place where you can let go of the anger and the jealousy, and then allow yourself to actually forgive, right? And remember, the forgiveness is for yourself. You don't even have to tell someone else that you forgive. It's just about putting down the burden, and then they have to pick it up because it's their actions, right? So yeah, this has been, it's tough love. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Like and comment, and I will be back for an end of the month reading after this. Bye for now, Gemini.